Hello, this is a guide for staff on how to use ResourceLists, the university online reading list system. The first time you use ResourceLists, you'll need to create a profile. Firstly, go to www.resourcelists.bham.ac.uk. Then, log in with your usual university username and password. Click Create a Profile, and then fill in your details. Make sure to click Save Profile. To get editing access to a list, you will need to request this from Library Services. Email resourcelists@contacts.bham.ac.uk with details of the module and module code you need a list set up for. Once this is set up, you will receive an automated email asking you to click on the link to accept the list. Alternatively, to accept the list within the system, you can click on your name, View Profile, My Invites, and click on the orange dots to accept any lists you've been invited to. You can then go through to your list and start editing it. To access your list in future, you can just click on the My List button and access it through there. You should now have the Edit button at the top of your list. To make any changes to your list, you always need to click Edit and then Edit List. In order to be able to add a range of resources to your list, you will firstly need to install the ResourceList Bookmark button to your browser toolbar. To do this, firstly make sure you have a toolbar showing at the top of your screen. If you don't already, then in Chrome you need to click the three dots to the top right of your screen, Bookmarks, and Show Bookmarks bar. Your toolbar now appears. If you normally use a different browser, you can see our online guidance for making your toolbar visible. To then add the bookmark button, go to My Bookmarks, Install Bookmark button, click Next, and then drag and drop the Add to My Bookmarks orange button onto your toolbar. You can tell when it's ready to drop when the little cross appears. Your bookmark button has now been added. You can click Close. Now you're all ready to add resources to your list. To add a book from the library catalogue, go to www.findit.bham.ac.uk. Enter the details of a book you would like to add and filter your search by library catalogue. Click on the title of the book, and once you're on this page, you now need to click the bookmark button on your toolbar. This page will then appear, bringing together all the various details about the book. Click Create and Add to List, and this will appear. Choose which of your lists you would like to add the book to. At this point, if you like, you can also add in notes for students or the importance of the book, such as essential or background. You can, however, add these later. Click OK. This item will now have been added to your list. To add other resources, the process is very similar. Simply go to, for example, the particular article, website or video you would like to add. And for articles, it's best generally to go to the publisher website rather than all the way through to the PDF. And then click the bookmark button again. Just as before, all the various details will be pulled through. And with online resources, it's always worth checking that the online resource button has been ticked. Then, as before, click Create and Add to List. Again, make sure you're adding it to the correct list. You can add a note if you like, and an importance, and click OK. We can then check that these items have been added by going back to our original list, back to ResourceLists, and we can see that these two items have been added. To scaffold learning and to help students navigate and prioritise their reading, it can be a good idea to create some kind of structure within your list. To add structure, click Edit and Edit List. On the top right hand side, you can then see the option to add a new section to your list. Click on this button and drag it into the relevant point on your list. You'll then be prompted to give the section a title. You can also add some contextual notes here. And save. You can now drag and drop items within your list into this section using the cross button. Now that you've created a new section, next time you go to bookmark a new item using the bookmark button, you will now be given the drop-down option to add that item to a particular section. To help students prioritise items on their list and to help the library calculate how many copies of books to buy, you should give each resource on your list an importance. To do this, firstly make sure you're in the editing version of your list. Then, under the relevant item, click Set Importance. You can also add notes to individual items for further context for students. Again, just click Edit Notes and Importance next to the relevant item, fill in the details, and click Save. To enhance your list further and ensure your resources are as accessible as possible, you can request copyright compliant scans of a particular chapter or section of a hard copy book via the Request Digitisation feature. Please note, copyright restricts this to one chapter or 10%, whichever is greater. Underneath the relevant book, click Request Digitisation. Then you can fill in the chapter or page details. Click Next and follow the steps through. Subject to copyright, the digitisation team will then create a quality, copyright compliant scan for you and upload this to your list. You'll receive an email when this is available. To make sure your list is visible to your students and to be able to link to it in Canvas, when you're ready, publish your list. You will need to do this every time you make a change to your list and want that change to be visible. To do this, just click Publish to the top right of your list. If you would like the library to check your list for new books that need to be ordered, or for sufficient copies or available e-versions of items, then you can request a library review of your list. Before you do this, please make sure you have added importances to items wherever you can, and also included an indication of student numbers on the module. To include student numbers, go to Edit, Hierarchy and Student Numbers, and fill in an approximate number. Click Save. To then request a review of your list, click Edit, Request Review, and Send. The earlier you can do this ahead of term, the better. You can see our advised timings here. Finally, so that your students access your list alongside other module teaching resources, you can embed your list within Canvas. Before you start this, make sure your list is published. However you use Canvas, you need to start in the module section of your Canvas course. From here, you can create a new module by clicking Plus Module and give it a name, something like ResourceList, and click Add Module. Once you've done this, click the plus button, use the drop down to pick External Tool, and then scroll down and choose ResourceLists. Click Add Item. Now you need to click through on the link you've just created, and you'll see this page. The search box here may already be pre-populated. If so, it's generally best to click the cross button and delete this. And then all you need to do is search for either the name of your list or your own name. Choose the relevant list and your list will appear. Now at this point, if you just want to embed your whole list, all you need to do is click Save. If, however, you'd like to embed just a particular section of your list, use the drop-down arrow here and pick the particular section. And again, just click Save. Now, to make sure that this list is visible to students, go back to Modules and just make sure that the circle here is ticked and green, which means it's now visible. Now, at this point, you can just leave your list here if you're happy that your students will access it from here. Or, if you would like, you can link through to it from another part of your Canvas course. Click on the list again, and then go up to the top of the page and highlight the URL for the page. This is the embedded resource list link. Right-click and click Copy, and then go through to wherever in your course you'd like to add the link, so for example the home page. From here, then edit your page, and you might have something like, here is your resource list. You can then highlight the relevant words, click link to URL, right click and paste, and we've just pasted the link we copied a moment ago, and click insert link. You can then click save. At this point you can see that your students can now access your list. Using this guidance, you should now be set up with your resource lists. If you have any questions at all though, or would like further help, you can either take a look at the online guidance or just contact your library engagement advisor. Thank you.